Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be taking a look at Clearview Towing Mirrors for Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyon. These will fit 2015 through 2018 models. The folks at Clearview Mirrors USA were kind enough to send these to me to make a review and installation video for everyone. So be sure to visit their website. I will post it in the description box below, or you can type it into your URL. Here's the link. So this video is going to be a review and installation of the mirrors on my 2017 Chevy Colorado. Let's go ahead and get started. Looks like each mirror comes individually boxed. These mirrors have power functionality like your normal mirrors. There's two sections actually though. The top part of the mirror will be power controlled on the inside of your vehicle like your normal mirrors. There's a bottom mirror that is manually controlled where you can tilt it however you like. Helps for blind spots, backing up, hooking up to a trailer and whatnot. But for the most part, they're going to be plug and play. So they come nicely packed, plenty of packing material in here. Not worried about them getting damaged in shipping at all. Alright, so I got the set of mirrors pulled out of the boxes and just wanted to go over a couple of the features of them. So as you can see, this one here on the left is extended to its full length. You get an extra 4 inches by manually extending that mirror out, and it just slides along this rail here, so in and out just like that, 4 inches. So if you're towing a bigger trailer, that's really helpful. These use the stock mirror body cutouts, so they're going to line up to the body panels perfectly. On the outside, they're going to look like factory. These are made from a durable black plastic finish. I do believe they come in a chrome finish as well for a mirror cap, so if you want to get a little more fancy, you can get those. But like I said, this mirror on top will be electronically controlled from the inside of your vehicle like normal. This mirror here is manually adjustable to your liking, and this is a convex mirror, so you can adjust it to your seating position and eliminate your blind spots to get the best view of your cargo that you're hauling. An optional version comes with the turn signals. There's a little bit more wiring to install those. I opted to just go with the standard version. These are the heated mirrors, so if you have certain trims on Colorados or Canyons, they will plug and play and become heated. There also is the connectors here. GM changed the harness between 2016 and 2017 models, so Clearview decided to put both harnesses on their mirrors so that it's the same unit. You just have to match up your connector. They come with a 36-month warranty, so if anything goes wrong, give the guys a call at Clearview Mirrors USA. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to take care of you. They have a very detailed installation instructions on their website that you can download and print off. These do also fold in manually here on this hinge. When they're attached to the truck, you'll be able to fold them in. It also comes with the hardware needed when you go to mount those into your truck. They were also kind enough to send me a set of fastener and molding remover sets. These are like plastic pry tools. When you're taking apart the interior panels on the inside of the truck, this will be a lot better than using a metal screwdriver and scratching up your panels. So let's open up these and see what's inside. So yeah, you do have to remove the interior panel of the door to install these mirrors, but like I said, we'll walk through it all. These will definitely help since they're plastic and you're not going to damage any of the interior panels. So you get a couple of different pry tools, fastener removers like those pesky little push pins. Crowbar style is definitely going to be nice for when we're pulling the panels off. A big flat bladed one, and then another couple different, crowbar style ones for fasteners and whatnot. So definitely appreciate them sending those out to me as well. I'll make sure I link them in their description so you can buy a set for yourself. And yeah, so let's get out there to the garage and start installing these mirrors. To do this, you're going to need a few tools. You're going to need your pry tools like I showed you just earlier. You are going to need a very small flathead screwdriver like so. And also a pair of pliers will come in handy. A 10mm socket and a 7mm nut driver. So the first thing you need to do is remove the whole door panel because the screws are located behind this panel here for the mirror, and to get that panel off you have to remove this door panel. So the door panel is held on with 5 screws and a set of pins around the exterior and along the top here. So there's one screw here behind this door where the latch is. There are 2 screws here behind this panel, and then there are 2 screws on the bottom. Those are the 7mm bolts that you will need your 7mm nut driver for. Get the first one out right here. There is a plastic panel behind the door latch, and you use your flathead screwdriver, and there is a little notch where you can get that in, and then remove that little panel. And all these are the same size for the door, so don't worry about having to keep them separated. Next, you have to remove this panel on the armrest that's just held in with snaps on the back side of this. This is where your plastic trim removal tools come in handy. Pop at least one. You can pull the rest off with your hand. And once you have that little panel trim piece removed, you can remove the next 2 screws, which are behind these 2 circles here. And it would help to have a magnet to pull those 2 out, but otherwise you can just shake the door panel until they fall out. Like that. And the last 2 screws are on the bottom exposed when you open the door. And now the door is loose of all the screws. It is only held in with the clips along the edges of the door. And that's where this big flat panel pry tool comes in handy. You just start at one end, getting behind the panel, and just working your way, popping the clips. And as you go, you'll be able to pull the door off like that. The top you actually have to kind of pry out of the window track. So get a hold of it on one end and then pull up like that, and then it is loose. And then you can just let this hang here because it's got a couple different wires that are hanging it. So that's how the door panel comes loose. Now you can get access to where the screws are behind this panel here, which is the trim on the door, which goes up and around here. And it's not 100% necessary to remove, but it does make it easier. So there are 2 push pins that are holding this on. One's right there, and then the other is on the other side here, right there. So this kind of crowbar looking plastic pry tool is good for these. And to remove the trim piece around the door, it comes out real easy. It's held in with one clip up here in the corner. You can pull it out with your hands, and then this just sort of loosely comes out. You can set that off to the side. You can now get the wiring harness unplugged for the factory mirrors. Earlier in the video I mentioned, depending on your trim level, you may be able to obtain heated mirrors. You can check this by checking your OEM connector for a wire in one of the pins. Look at this schematic here. If you look at the harness inside your door that you unhooked your original mirrors from, and there's a wire in the number 4 pin as shown here, that means you will have heated mirror function. And to use the heated mirror function, you just need to press the rear defrost button on the inside of your cab. This one here. And it will go on and off with the rear defroster if equipped. Next, there are these 3 10mm bolts that you need to remove to get the stock mirror off. Remove the bottom 2 first. It's best if you have the window open. You can reach inside the window while loosening the screw and holding the mirror at the same time for that last screw. And then you can just pull the mirror out and then pull the harness through. Now you take your new mirror and insert the studs through after you first insert your wire harness. Then you can set the studs through the holes and secure it with one of the bolts. Then go ahead and tighten up the nuts with your 10mm. And you want them snug, but don't go crazy on them. Next, you're going to take the wire harness and insert it into the OEM plug. And now would be a good time to test the mirror functionality before you button up the door panel. So you can do this with the keys off, but when you have it all plugged in, just test the connector, just test the switch on the inside, make sure it all works. And it looks like it's working. Now to reinsert the trim along the top of the door, you need to get the part of the door panel that is got a lip on it. So the bottom side has like this groove that is hard to pick up on the camera, but you can kind of see there. And that sits in the metal along the top of the panel all around. So start at one end, pop the panel in with one push pin it has, and work the weather stripping around until you get the door panel seated around the door. And you have to lift up the weather stripping to get it to sit right. And that just sits in there like that. Now, to get the door panel back onto the actual door, it's a little tricky. There's this piece on the top of the door card that actually slides out. This is the track for the window. And this has its own, it's hard to kind of see, but this groove sits. The groove on this weather stripping sits inside of the window groove. That's what the window slides up and down in. So that slides out, and just sort of set it aside there for now. There's also 5 of these metal clips. They're hard to see. I'm going to try to get a hold of them. There's a clip here, 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 and here. There's 5 of them, and they are clipped into the door right now. You need to remove them from the panel, and we'll set them into the actual door. I'll show you what they look like when I get one removed here. So these are the clips that I just pulled out of the door card, and this goes into the door, and then this piece here slides into a slot on the door. And there are 5 spots, and you'll know where to put them because there's like an indentation where they're supposed to go. So there's one that I just put in, then there's one right here, there's another right there, groove for it, another groove down here, and then one off to my left off camera. But there's 5 in total. And they just sit in a little spot, and then this will eventually accept the door card. Now the next thing you need to do is take that weather stripping that goes between the window, and it needs to go with the felt facing out. So here's the felt, and it'll slide down onto all of these clips like that. You may need to slide it one way or the other in order to get it in the right way. It should sit down like that, so then the window eventually comes up through this gap here. So you're left with something like this. As you can see, all 5 spots for the door to clip back into. And then you can put the door card back in. So first off, you can pop the door lock out and find its spot in there. Then line up your top clips. And just start popping them. Then you got those 5 screws left in the door. There's one here by the latch, 2 on the bottom. There's also the 2 in here, and I've got a trick for those. Since where these screws go is so far in there, it's kind of hard to keep the bolt on the actual nut driver unless it's a magnetic one. But if you don't have a magnetic one, just put it on with a little piece of painter's tape like that, and then you can get it all the way back there and tighten it up. And then lastly, you got a couple trim pieces to put in. This one by the latch here, real easy, just snaps into place. And then the one here on the armrest, which requires a little finesse to get in, but just basically line up the holes and pop them in just like that. The last step is to admire your work, because you're done. Passenger side install is the same. And here's just an overall shot of the mirrors on the truck at a distance. They do take up a lot more real estate. They are almost like 5 inches longer than the stock mirrors, so you have to be careful pulling into tight spots, your garage, etc. I want to give another thanks to the people at Clearview Mirrors USA for providing the mirrors for the video today. Also, they provided the panel removal tools, which were very helpful in removing the panels on the truck. Just to finish this video off, guys, here's a shot from inside the truck from my perspective. So you can see you got the two mirrors on the driver's side with the bottom mirrors. I have them adjusted to my liking. And then also the passenger side, you can see them, and they do take up a lot more real estate. You get to see a lot more. So they will take a little bit of adjustment till you get them right, but definitely really good visibility. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to visit the Clearview Mirrors USA website, which I will link in the description, also right here. Check out what they have to offer. They have mirrors for a lot of different vehicles, not just Chevy Colorados. So be sure to visit them, and I'd love it if you subscribed, and stay tuned for more. Later.